Alright, good evening or good morning wherever you are, afternoon. This is part 2 of my series animating a character rig to walk across the screen or in place. So if you have watched my first tutorial part 1, this will be part 2 where I am showing you how to rig a character, add bones and create some what do you call it, bone movements and smart bones, exactly, smart bones and smart actions. So first off, you convert our lady character from part 1, we convert it into a bone layer, and then you have your bone layer, and then click add bone. And then I like to start with the root bone. Sometimes other people put grids and then they can click into place the bone. Then you have a root bone, and then I will have my hip bone, and then from the hip I can then have, okay, let me actually have a longer hip bone, take all the way down since my legs were starting from down there, and then have, okay, no, it's actually right. From here, have it there, and then have my thigh, and then from the knee, go down, boom, and we have our first bone. Oops, what's happening there? And then click back to the hip bone, and then have the first one. Okay, let's do it properly. Have them as best as you can, really, and then as accurately as you can get them. Then have our second one, and that's our legs done. And then we can go to the back. If you want to have a curving back or more movement on the upper body, you can have upper body and lower body. So we have there one, and then the upper body, upper torso, and then we can have our neck bone, and then the head bone, boom. And then we go back to upper body, so, and we add the arms, boom, and then we add the other one. Okay, let's bring it all the way to the elbow, there we go. And bring this one down all the way, and then we can have our hands, we can have there, we can add another one there for the fingers, and then we go back to the backbone, upper body, to the other hand, boom, and bring it down, boom, then the other part, hand and the fingers. And then that's the whole character, bones laid out. And then I like to select them all and then bring down the bone strength, because I don't usually use bone strength. Sometimes other people do, but for me, the way I rig, I don't need to use bone strength. So, and then I like to color code my bones. For one side, just have them all in one color. So have them all in one color so you know which is which, and then you can just have them in, let's say, let's have green, and then the other side have it in a different color. Let's make that purple, right, because we love purple. And then we can name them if you need to, but for this purpose I'm not going to name them, because this is just a simple tutorial. And when you're doing more complex rigs, it's great to name your bones, so when you're putting targets and everything, you know which is which. So what I'm going to do, in fact, I'm just going to label shortcut, I'm going to select them all, and then make this the left arm, and then it's just going to put 1, 2, 3, left arm 1, left arm 2, left arm 2, left arm 3, and then also with the other one, left leg, and then example purposes, we'll do that. And then maybe the head, because it might be important. Head. And then now we need to rig them or attach them to the flesh, the bone to the flesh. And then first of all, it's our arm at the front, so we go into our layers. When you've labeled them, you know which is which, and then you can simply just select which one you need to rig. So let me try locate that. That's for the other bone. So what I'm gonna do is simply do this, and then Control A to select all the points, and then you can bind layer or bind points. I like to bind points. Bind them all, and then we go down. Oh no, that's incorrect. Okay, we can simply do this, and then we select one, and we select all the way up to where you want it to be, and bind point. And then the other one is already bound, and then we have our arm moving already there. And then we go to select the hand, Control A, select the bone, Control A, bind point, and then select the first one, select where it's gonna turn, and we bind it there, bind it. And there's your arm. You can test it in between, and there it is. It's already moving. And then from there, the flap for the hat, we can just bind layer to the top, and then leg as we go up for the leg. We'll select there, Control A. Bind point. So if you have a thigh, you can bind it all the way to the top, but I don't. My legs are ending by the skirt, so we're just gonna select at the bottom, select the point there, and we bind. And then we're gonna attach the shoe. I think we're gonna just bind layer, and we bind layer with the shoe. Correct one. There we go. Go to the other leg, click on the bone, select all points, bind points. You always have to click here, bind points, to make it active. And then select the other part, and we select Control A, boom, and we bind points. Then we move on to the shoe, layer bind it, boom. As soon as it turns red, that's when it's bound. That's when you know it's bound. And then for the neck, we can do the same. We can bind it, layer bind. And then for the body, we're gonna have two parts to it. So we're gonna select here, Control A. We're gonna bind it, bind points. Select the top one, select whichever point where it's gonna turn or bend, and there. I think I'm gonna move this one up also a bit, there, or yeah, I think we can move it up a bit to where it curves, and then we can simply select that, and we bind it, bind points. There we go. And then the dress is a bit of a part, so we just select all the hip bone down here in the back, and we Control A, and we bind them all together, and then we split it apart. Start from the top, and then we select there, and we bind it, bind point. Then we go to the hip, and we select the ones in the hip there, just at the top there, and we bind it. Well, that's the belly, not the hip. And then we select the hip bone and it's already bound. And there you have it. Your character's almost rigged properly. And then we move on to the next one, the head. I'm gonna layer bind it. Layer bind lips, layer bind too. The hat, I'm gonna bind there. And then I think we're missing one more thing. The arm wasn't rigged when I checked. Right, there we are. You select the hand, bone, Control A, and bind the layers, bind points. Okay, we need to redo that. Something went wrong there. Control A, bind points, Go to the top one, not the bottom one. Select, boom, and we bind points. There we go. So we can move the fingers if we need to. There. Then we go back into the hand. We select the bones we want to bind the hand to. Control A, select them all, bind points. Go to the bottom one and right up to the elbow. Let's take it all the way there and select that one. Bind points. And there you have it. Everything now is pretty much rigged and ready for action. Almost everything. A little more edits and we should be good. I think we just need to correct that one. Just need to correct that one. Control A, bind points. Now we can actually move the legs. The skirt, I'm gonna fix that. Don't worry about that. We'll fix that. We will fix that. What we can even do, we can select that and we can bind it this way. Select that and bind points. Let's see how that comes out. And there you have it. We can always fix it there to work well with us. But usually I like to just animate it separate. You know, the dress and the clothes separate to the body. And that way we don't lose much. But we'll fix that in smartphone action. Then we can select that. Control A. And we can bind that. Bind. From there, everything is bound. The lady is there. But we're not done. We're certainly not done yet, but the majority of the work is done. She's moving, and we're gonna fix it later on in the next video, because I think I will have a short video for this one and then split it into 3 parts instead of 2, because it's already 13 minutes into the video, and I think having long tutorials doesn't work well for people watching, and I like to keep my tutorials short and easy to watch and not boring. But that's bound for. So for the next one, we're gonna add smartboard actions. We're gonna be using this, and we're gonna make her walk. Well, after we bind, rig, and create smartboard actions, so it's all nice and works like, normal realism. Add some realism to it instead of this. This is a bit too, see, some parts they break up. We need to fix all that, and we're gonna do it in the next video. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and share, and let's have fun.